Hello. This is the 10th lesson in the 7th Fetter, and we're going to talk about time. Time is a delusion. Time is a dimension just like height and length. That is 2 dimensions. Then we have width, which makes it into three dimensions. And then we have time that makes it into a 4th dimension. So time is a dimension. And like Babur, the physicist, he says that change happens and change exists, time doesn't. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Because you have a meat suit, it feels like time is happening. It feels like just a moment ago you clicked on the video and started to listen, and now you sit here and listen, and we're this far into the video. So clearly you can see on how many minutes have passed that clearly time exists. But that only exists in comparison with something else. In this moment, right now, time does not exist. You need an experience of a change that has happened, like Babu is talking about. That change exists, but time doesn't. Like when we talk about impermanence, change exists, but time doesn't. So you need to have a memory of you clicking start, and a memory of those individual moments, snapshots of moments that has happened. You connect those in your mind with your memories, and that is when we have the feeling of time passing. It doesn't mean that time is passing. It means that we have a feeling of time passing because we experience snapshots of moments that we are cutting together into a prolonged experience that is longer than the now. But again, that is a trick of the mind. In this moment, there is just now. There's just the unfolding that is happening now and now. And the moment that I say now, and you hear now, and you process what I said, and you create that into a meaning of what now means, then that moment is already gone. Plus, you have just added thought to it. You have just added ideas of what now means, of what snapshot means, of the collection of things, what that actually means. In reality, there's only now. When you think about the past, it is happening now. When you think about the future, it's happening now. You're thinking about it now. And the thing is that past and future only exist in the mind. We can even be so deluded that the now also only exists in the mind. And that's what we talked about in the last video, the last lesson, that there is just this moment right now. There is an unfolding happening right now. But the moment you think about it, you create it into something out of nothing. The moment you have an experience, you see something and you get goosebumps all over the body and you go, oh, that was really nice. You just created something something out of nothing. That there was I got goosebumps all over my body because of the sunset. You just created something out of nothing. You do not know if it was the sunset that did it. That's a thought that is telling you it was the sunset that did that. It wasn't. It could be a gazillion different things that you're not even aware of. But you make a conclusion in your mind that makes most sense to you based on your backpack, based on your experiences. Which means that it's not even what happened that you're deluding yourself into saying that that is what happened. None of your memories are real. I've said that multiple times in the videos. All of the things that you think that you remember happened, but it did happen. It didn't. It didn't. Something happened in your past. You were immature, you were a child, you were 5, let's say, something happened. They did not listen to you. They did not pay you the respect and see you for who you really are. That was the experience, that was the feeling that you had at that point. That is the post-it that you made about the experience. And you have forever since then only talked about the post-it, not about the real experience. And the memory grew with your maturity. So the memory matured with you. The feeling didn't. The feeling is the same as if you're 5. But the memory then started, well, that was also my parents. They never saw me for who I was. They were super unfit to be parents. And you created a whole universe around that experience, around that feeling, around that post-it. And in that, there's a lot of identification. It's also why we put so much emphasis on the second fetter. That it's really important to work with that. Because the feeling is real. The feeling is happening now. The thoughts about the feelings, that's in your mind. That you can completely let go of. But the feeling that is happening in the body, that contraction that you feel, that's real. The thoughts about what that contraction means, that is happening right now. You can detach the thought, allow the sensation in the body to be present and to grow as big as it needs to, and just create space for that. This is not about you. It's about the trauma that needs to be experienced and expressed. But that is happening now. Whatever you thought happened in your past, whatever memory you have about what happened in the past, it didn't. And please be very much aware that I'm not sitting and gaslighting you. I'm not sitting and saying that the trauma that you experienced is not important. If it's important, you should look at it. If it's important, you should work with it. But be very, very clear that they did not do anything wrong. No matter what you have experienced, no matter if you were in a war zone or if you had been abused in any way, they is not a thing. What happened, happened. And I'm not victim blaming either. If you hear that, go to the second fetter. It's not what I'm talking about. If you hear that I'm giving anybody a green light to treat children in whichever way they want to, you're not hearing what I'm saying. You've got tears in your ears. Go to the second fetter and work with it. What I'm saying is that the delusion that you sit in right now, where you believe that the experience is outside of you, that is a delusion. It is happening in you right now. It has nothing to do with the past. It is causes and conditions, yeah. Sure, we are nothing but causes and conditions. But there's no I in that center of those causes and conditions. That is biology and endocrinology and physiology that is happening. It's psychology that is happening. It's causes and conditions. So the past did not happen the way that you think it did. When you look at your parents and you say, but they were so dysfunctional. They did not treat me the way that a child should be treated. They did not see me at all. First of all, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Go to the second fetter and work with it. Second of all, they did not do anything. The conclusions that you have today, this year, when you're sitting and looking at it, are conclusions you're making in your mind this year when you're sitting and looking at it. The underlying ick is probably something you have dragged along since you were 5 until now. But that underlying ick is what needs to be felt and experienced and expressed. And you do that in the second fetter. So what I would like for you to really look at now is that when you look at your parents and you say that they did not see me the way that I needed to be seen, do you see that in your bubble you have, first of all, you have pinned, right? You're self-referential. You're looking at it from the inside out. They did wrong. They should have done differently. That means you're blaming, you're complaining, which means it is an inside job. Go to the second fetter and work with it. If you can sit and listen to this without breathing into a paper bag, then let's continue. Whatever you're saying about them is you projecting you onto them. So you're not talking about them. You're talking about how you would do things differently. I would listen to a child. I would not dismiss a child. I would not disrespect a child? Well, you just disrespected them in what you said, because you put you in the center of their experience. You were never in the center of their experience. They were. So you just did what they did. You just copy-pasted exactly that. You cannot know what you would do in their biology, with their bubble of reality, their bullshit backpack. You cannot think of what you would do in that position. You can only say what you would do in your position. And by you assuming that you know anything about them, you are disrespectful towards their experience. You are exactly what you are saying they were. Do you see that? Go to the second fetter and work with it. Which means the memories you have are not accurate. There's not a single memory that you have that is accurate at all. It can't be. Because the moment you experience something, for example, just what I was sitting and saying just now, you can pause the video, go back, listen to all of it again, and you will hear something else. Because what you heard the first time you heard it is not what you're going to hear the second time you hear it. Because a little seed is being planted. Something is going to grow in you. You're getting insights while I'm talking. And that is changing the whole kaleidoscope. You're listening to what I'm saying differently than you were when you started to listen to it. So even your memories of if you post a video right now and you write notes about what you think I said, you can go back and you can see it wasn't what I said. It was what you thought I said. And your entire life is like that. Your entire past is like that. Your memory is not made to be accurate. Your memory is there to ensure your survival. It's not about accuracy, it's about survival. Which means that whatever underlying belief you have, whatever underlying toxic starting point you have, that is what you react on. That is what I talk about when I say that you have tears in your ears. You're not hearing what is actually being said. You hear what you think is being said, and that is getting into the mill of your entire bullshit backpack, of your toxic starting point, of how you view you, how you think you are, with the pinned self-referential little I in the middle. None of that is real. None of that is real. Unpin. Remove that self-referential little I in the middle. And just notice that the only thing you know in your direct experience, this is non-duality, right? In your direct experience, that is just now. The moment you say, I remember how it was 30 seconds ago, you're deluding yourself. You don't. Because you do not have all the information to be able to remember what it was like 30 seconds ago. You do not have all the information. You only have the information of the things you noted in your little self-referential pinned I. You noted things that was self-referential, that was within your understanding, that was within your frame of reference, within your starting point, within your bubble of reality, because you were pinned in as your self-referential little I. You did not notice the colors changing in the leaves like a bee would see it or a bird would see it, because you didn't have that information. You don't have that ability. But even just in your biology, you do not remember everything that just happened 30 seconds ago. You remember highlights. And those highlights are then what you're going to say, this is what happened 30 seconds ago. It's not. It's just the highlights of it. And those highlights have been processed through your understanding, through your bullshit backpack, through your toxic starting point, through how you see you and the world and me and this message and all of it. So it's a chewed down message of what actually happened 30 seconds ago. It's not even what happened. Your memory is not accurate. Whatever you believe happened, didn't. Whatever you believe who they were, they weren't. That is your projection of them. Whatever you believe you did or they did, You didn't and they didn't. It is an interpretation of something you assumed happened. So again, if you have experienced dysfunctional family, if you have lots of trauma that needs to be dealt with, this is not the lesson for that. Go to the second fetter and work with it. I am seeing you and I'm hearing you and I'm sending you so much love. I want you to really, really understand that. I'm not dismissing your experience in any way. I'm not gaslighting. I'm not trying to minimize your experience at all. Go to the second fetter. There I'm taking so much care of you, of your experience, and acknowledging all of it. This is not the lesson for that. This is the lesson to really unpin whatever you believe is reality. Whatever you believed happened, this is the lesson to unpin that. Because it can't. Whatever you believe happened 30 seconds ago is just what you believe happened. It's a belief. It's not a pure experience. Whatever is unfolding in this moment right now, you haven't got all the information of all the unfolding that is happening all over the world, in the universe, and everywhere. You don't have that. You only have your own little puny biology around you, where you can pick up what is happening in a 360 degree around you if you're really astute. Most of us are not. I don't know what is happening behind, me right now. So I can only, in whatever I can see, hear, smell, taste, touch, I can have an experience. But whatever experience I have, I cannot talk about. I cannot re-experience it. I cannot say what it is. I cannot explain it in any way. Because if I do that, I'm minimizing the experience. It is an unfolding that is happening without a self-referential eye observing what is happening. And that is how you actually can heal your past. And that's the exercise I would like to do with you. So this exercise that we're going to do now, I call it the time travel exercise. And it's where you become aware of whatever you thought happened I just want to apologize for our neighbor, Bill. We really like him. He's a great guy. And he's mowing at the moment, so you can hear that. Just in a bracket, whenever you watch this video, Bill is no longer mowing. And yet the experience that you have will be you sitting and doing an exercise while Bill is mowing. He's not. Isn't it fun? So the past is happening right now. The future is happening right now. There is just an unfolding right now. And there's no I to experience that unfolding. And that you can actually use to your advantage. So we're going to do the time travel exercise. I would like for you to close your eyes and make a deep breath. And then I would like for you to think of an experience you have had where you feel that it was a defining moment in your life. It can be in your childhood. It can be where you were standing at one of those crossroads in your life and you made a decision to go right. And in retrospect, you think you should have gone left. It can be a childhood experience where an adult was abusive towards you. And I want you to sit and breathe and repeat that experience over and over. And the example I'm going to use, I'm going to say, you're 5 years old and somebody is saying something to you that makes you feel really shameful. That is just the example I use for making this easier. You can incorporate your own experience instead, if that helps you. So I would like for you to re-experience what that situation was. Play it over in your mind again and again. The adult says something or does something and it makes you feel shameful. And look at the little child. Look at how the body is tensing up. Look at how the eyes look, that they are scared or shameful. Look at the little body that is, you can see the entire trauma, the entire experience being embodied. All of that is in the body right now. And whenever you use those muscles, that feeling of shame comes up. Now, what I would like for you to do is kind of like split your experience right now. So one part of you, as you already do, is sitting and thinking of the child. The other part is the adult that is sitting in this year with me, and we're doing this together. And instead of having a horizontal line with the past, the present, and the future, we turn it and make it vertical. Everything is happening at the same time. You are sitting here, being mature and wise, and you can look at the little child, at what is happening. You can hold the little child, you can tell the child it's okay. It's okay. I know you feel shameful right now. You're not. It's just an experience. You're absolutely okay. You did not do anything wrong, no matter what you did. You are not wrong in any way. It's just an experience. It's okay. And whatever comes up in the moment, if the child is sitting on your lap, or the child is crying, or you are crying, whatever is happening, it is just whatever needs to be experienced and expressed. You can also activate the muscles that you saw was activated in the child. If it's flinching muscles, then activate the flinching muscles. And sit and breathe into it. Allow the body to feel what it needs to feel. The pain you experience right now is real. Don't minimize it. It is what needs to be experienced and expressed. And when you are ready and you feel that the child is calm, the muscles are no longer tense. It's like the experience and the memory is fading. If it is, you can pick another experience. Normally we are led into another experience, and you do the same thing. You notice the child, you notice how the body is, how the breathing is. You re-experience the incident over and over and over and over, like it's on a loop. And really notice the child. Remember, you're in the vertical. So it's where you are here now with me, and you are an adult and you're mature, you're safe. And then you reach out to the child and allowing the child to feel what it feels. Nothing needs to go away. Nothing needs to be any different. But you can reassure the child and saying, there's nothing wrong with you. You're fine. It feels like you're shameful or it's your fault. It's not. It's just a feeling. It's okay. Let that be the mantra for you, that it's okay. Whatever you feel, it is okay. You're safe now. You can allow yourself to feel what you feel. Notice how the tension in the body gets less. And just allow yourself to be with what needs to happen. You can either sit here as long as you want to. You can go through as many experiences as you want to. But for now, I would like for you to make a deep breath, open your eyes. This exercise you can do over and over and over. And what you will experience is that the more you allow the muscles to feel what the muscles felt and breathe into that and stretch the muscles. Be kind towards where the flinching muscles are if you have had any of those experiences. Touch your body, soothe the skin, have light pressure on your hands when you touch your body. So it's really with a full presence and awareness that you touch your body and you allow whatever comes up to come up. The more you do that, the more you will experience that the big traumatic experiences that you had, they are slowly fading. It will end up with that all the memories you had about a bad childhood, they have now served their purpose. You have now allowed yourself to experience and express what needed to be experienced and expressed, which means that those memories have lost their purpose. There's no need to keep holding on to a story about you having a dysfunctional childhood and you having a dysfunctional life and you being a victim. And there's no need to hold on to their stories. They're there not to tell a story, but for you to experience and express what needs to be experienced and expressed. And once you've done that, there's no need to hold on to the story, which means that you end in a position where whatever you thought happened, you can see that it didn't. And you won't remember those things anymore because there's no point. If you remember, there's no power in the memory anymore because it has served its purpose. And you can do that with every single experience that you have had, where you really allow to stay with what felt important, what felt traumatic. And you allow yourself to stay with that. You are the adult in the room now because you're no longer in the horizontal, you're in the vertical. And you are with every single experience. Like I said, the past did not happen then, it happens right now. The future is not going to happen at some point further along. Whatever you think about the future is happening right now. Everything is in the vertical. Time does not exist. There is just this. And if you keep having that unpinned eye, so there's nothing self-referential about it anymore. It's not pointing back to you being in a certain way, or your past being in a certain way, or you being a survivor, or any of those labels that or identifications that you put onto it. It's just an experience that is present right now that needs your love and compassion and kindness right now. It's not about then. It's not about the story at all. It's about what needs your attention, your love, and your kindness right now. Time does not exist. The experience is real, and that needs to be experienced and expressed. I hope that was helpful. I hope it was useful. I can recommend you to join our Discord community. We have an amazing hive mind community on Discord. I can't post the link in the comment section because the link expires. So if you're interested to join, just write in the comment section. I will give you a link and join right away. And there you can talk with like-minded people that know what you're going through because they're experiencing it as well. I hope this experience was a good one. I hope that you feel that you have a feeling of clarity and that you have a feeling of being unpinned, that you have that feeling of there's nothing self-referential anywhere. And if it's painful, if there's something that needs your attention, then please be the adult in the room. Go to the second fetter and work with it. All experiences needs to be experienced and expressed. Thank you.